Team Canada 2026. So 4 new forwards from 4 nations. Celebrini, Horvat, Suzuki, and Wilson. Konechny, Jarvis, and Bennett are the guys on the team in 4 nations who are now off. The D, exactly the same 8 guys who are at 4 nations. And the goaltenders, 2 new ones, Kemper and Thompson, join Binnington, as Aiden Hill and Montembeault are the 2 that are dropped. So there you have it. Before we get into the nitpicking at the bottom of the roster, which is always what we do, what Canada does, this team is stacked, Craig.
There's no question that it's stacked. I mean, we talk about McDavid, McKinnon, Makar on the blue. I mean, McKinnon and McDavid are the best 2 forwards on the planet, and Makar is the best defenseman on the planet. And I even talked about Sam Reinhart, 50-goal scorer, Brayden Point, 50-goal scorer. It's an outstanding lineup.
Just think of the luxury as a coach. You talk about like momentum, throwing line after line. Just the idea of throwing McKinnon out there and then McDavid afterwards, it's incredible for a coach.
Just seeing that last board, it's a pretty experienced team. A lot of guys in their 30s have been around a long time. But I think the fact that Celebrini's on this team, and he had an uphill battle to get there, we know that as a young player, but there was no way they could keep him off this roster, and I'm excited to see him when he's, a month from now with those guys.
Yeah, the roster spiced up, though, the unveiling with a little bit of shock and surprise. I think the shock comes from the fact that a veteran player, Sam Bennett, is not making this team. 2 Stanley Cups, a Conn Smythe, on pace for a career year. That had to have been the most difficult decision, probably the toughest call that Doug Armstrong, as general manager, would have to make. So that's the shock value for me. And the surprise comes just mildly in Matthew Schaefer not cracking the Big 8 on defense, just given the year that he's had for the New York Islanders. But again, in our pregame, we talked about the influence of the 4 nations, and they feel the comfort level in going with the 4 men they had.
No Sam Bennett, I find to be, it's a mistake. It's somewhat shocking. The way he performs in the playoffs, the way he performed at 4 nations. That guy, I honestly thought was going to be a lock on this team, not just to be on the team, to be a key contributor in all situations. I don't understand that one.
Well, how about how he's performed this year without Sasha Barkov?
Yeah.
And the Florida Panthers just keep rising up and whatnot. Doug Armstrong talked about, Binnington. He made every case for Binnington, his track record and everything and the belief in him. Well, Sam Bennett's track record is pretty bloody phenomenal.
I said, let's celebrate the guys who are on it. That lasted 1 minute. They were already into the guys who are not on it.
That's what Canadian fans are talking about.
Maybe Bennett's not on there because Tom Wilson is. Tom Wilson got the call, and this is him receiving the phone call, letting him know he was on the team.
Hello? Hey, Don. How's it going? Oh, man. I don't know what to say.
Bye.
Well, thank you so much. I'm obviously so happy, and I'll do whatever it takes. So I'm really excited to start this journey and get going, and looking forward to it. So thank you so much for the opportunity, and just can't wait to get going. Okay, thanks, Don. Really appreciate it. All right, bye.
Yeah!
Yeah, that's pretty
chills.
Great.
I mean, the guy's done everything in hockey, and he's still it's great. Family support, the whole bit.
By the way, I chatted with Macklin Celebrini right after the announcement briefly. They have an early game today, so can't come on with us, but equally thrilled. I mean, you have to. A guy as confident as him, maybe he thought it was within the realm of possibility, but still,
if he's being realistic, and he would be smart enough to know that it was going to be a long shot. He'd have to do something pretty special, but he has.
Yeah.
He has.
And Nick Suzuki, who had a terrific game last night, a couple of goals in their comeback win, and earns his way on here, despite some thought when he didn't go to the Worlds a couple of times, maybe that would hurt his chances.
Well, that was a factor in the deliberation, I think, but you also have the opportunity to play your way onto a roster, and that's exactly what Nick Suzuki did, and not just because of the goals that he scored, obviously last night, including the overtime winner, but he just stayed in the mix. I know that he was one of the coach's favorites, not necessarily in the roster, but when you're making comparisons to who isn't making this team. So you look at Bo Horvat and Nick Suzuki. Honestly, going into this process in the last couple of days, I didn't think that there was room for both Horvat and Suzuki because I didn't have Bennett scraped off. But Bo Horvat, through his men's worlds, was outstanding, followed it up with a start to this year with the New York Islanders, and then there was the injury. So Horvat and Suzuki legitimately played their way on.
We've had Suzuki as a lock for like 9 months. And we haven't deviated from that for good reason. He can do everything. Yes, I know he doesn't have a long history playing for Canada at the World Championships and whatever influence that may have. But if you're putting the best team together with the best chance to win, it's got to be on the team. So, like, Horvat's different. I think Horvat, absolutely, you have that conversation. But one thing that Doug Armstrong said, as we kind of focus on the periphery of the roster, we need guys to kill penalties.
Yes.
Look how good Cirelli is killing penalties with Hagel.
You have to think that was Cooper fought for him as one of the last decisions.
If you're looking for the logic, why Cirelli over Bennett?
Yeah.
I think they gave you a little glimpse of what they were thinking. Better penalty killer, the chemistry with Hagel killing penalties.
How much better is Cirelli killing a penalty?
Pretty good. Bennett's not great. He's not great at killing penalties.
I'm pretty sure he could find a way.
You asked.
So that's what you're to you. That's the biggest omission is Sam Bennett.
You know what? I do give a ton of credit if John Cooper has the final say on some of the roster spots because he's the guy that has to deploy these players and he has a certain level of trust and he sees these guys on a nightly basis and I give him full props for that. But you just look at some of the decisions. A guy like Sam Bennett, I just don't know how he's not on the roster. But I do give him credit for going with his own guys because he trusts them a lot.
Right.
And he's the one that has to deploy them.
I'll give you two options here. Do you want to start looking at line combinations or you want to talk more about the fringe decisions? Let's do a little bit more of that. First of all, Connor Bedard. I'm just guessing the audience, most Canadian fans out there, that's the name I kept hearing. People texting me, is Bedard going to make it? Is Bedard going to make it? Schaefer, was Bedard, did the injury seal his fate here or was he not close?
I don't think it did. I don't think it
You
did.
think it was already
I wouldn't
decided?
say it wasn't close. I just think that, again, when you're looking at the teams that Canada is going to have to match up against, you can't have weakness in your game. And unfortunately for Connor Bedard, and maybe this is a byproduct of who he plays with the Chicago Blackhawks, the underlying numbers defensively haven't been great. He's still a very young, inexperienced player. So the flash and the dash is nice. He's much improved from where he was a year ago, but compared to the other options that Canada had, he played his way into the conversation. No doubt about that. But I don't think that the injury really factored too much.
I think he should have been on the team. You have a guy who's in the top 5 in scoring. Goals are going to be at a premium. And you're right. He's not Guy Carbonneau. It's not Bob Gainey. But he's way better. And you watch what Chicago looks like without him. There's no better case for having him on the team than watching Chicago lose 8 in a row without him.
So take somebody off. You just made a case for Horvat and Suzuki. So if Bedard is on your roster, you have to take somebody off.
Okay, and I think the conversation comes down to Mark Stone or Connor Bedard. Very different kind of players. Or Mark Scheifele as well would be in that conversation as the guy who didn't make it. Or Anthony Cirelli towards the bottom of the line. If you're one of those kind of guys. Now,
proven resumes, though, right?
Right. Yeah. But listen, you don't have experience till someone gives you a chance to get experience.
His experience will come down.
I recall Connor Bedard in a Canada jersey doing okay. I recall him not being overwhelmed by the moment or the competition. He was all right. Thank you very much, Halifax. So, but Stone or Bedard, I do think the injury, because if he comes back and he's maybe playing but not quite as good because the shoulder's bothering him, then you don't want to take him off the team. You sort of paint yourself in the corner. What if he's not really 100% healthy?
Right.
That would have to factor in.
And that goes back to John Cooper again in the trust factor. If you're talking, it might be overthinking and nitpicking a little bit. With 3 minutes left in a hockey game, when you're looking for a guy to get a puck out on the wall, maybe he wants Mark Stone to do it rather than Connor Bedard.
What if you got 5 minutes left trailing by 1?
Exactly the point. You might be looking for a goal, and then people are going to say, why wasn't Connor Bedard out there?